Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is, if you like, part 2 of a video that I did earlier this morning about a strip stud and some helicoils and things. This is the jig in place. The stud that we're trying to repair is this one here. And as I showed you, it's got a flip over in it. When we drilled this out to take the base, we drilled it a bit too far. So that's actually just got an old piston ring in there as a spacer. And this one here has been drilled for the tap. So I've drilled this one out using this drill. And you can see I haven't completely cleaned it up, but the amount of chip and swarf that comes out of there, I probably had to stop and clean that maybe 6 or 7 times in boring that hole through the block, but there's very little swarf has come through to the back at all. And now I'll take that off and flip this 180 degrees. So these are on a diagonal. These are the same thread as the head studs, or the block studs. And that's pulled down, the flange is pulled up in there to centralise this jig so that it is dead square on the hole. And it's set up so that by swapping it end for end, you can do any hole on the block, and you've got a nice square, straight, even hole every time. Tap's the same. The tap just fits down in there, and we just go down with that same thing. Plenty of grease on the tap, and I'll show you the end result shortly. So here is the tap now going down in the hole. You can see that it's liberally coated with grease, and every couple of turns I take it out and I clean all that off and bin it. Just clean it with some absorbent paper and grease it all up and put it back again. That catches probably 95% of the chips and makes it easier. You've got to back the tap out quite regularly, maybe every half turn or so. Just rock it backwards to break the chip off and just keep turning it. And of course, when you've got a jig, it works out fairly straightforwardly. We've just flipped the jig over so that now the hole for the tap is sitting there. And I've got this little baby screwdriver which doubles for a lot of things around this workshop. It's got the end flattened out, and it's in a spoon, and it's curved. And believe it or not, that's what I use for putting the, among other things, the joining link in timing chains. It works really well for that as well. So many multi-tools, but that's what we're doing at the moment. We're just finishing tapping the hole, and then we'll prep it for the insert to go in. Right, so here now is the end result of this exercise. We've drilled and tapped the hole out to a nice clean finish. Inside there's very little swarf anywhere. We did flush it out, but we'll flush it more. There's a little bit there still that I can see. But it's just a matter of standing the thing up. We put a catch tray down underneath it and just keep going until we get it nice and clean. And by having the engine stripped out all bar this, it's a fairly simple thing to do. I'm just going to prepare the plug now, and I'll put that in and show you how that works, and the job will be done. We'll have to leave it overnight for the Loctite on the threads to go off properly, but that's okay. I've got plenty more to do here, that's for sure. So here we are back again. Sorry this has been a little bit disjointed, but I'm sort of here on my own and I have to stop and do things and muck around, but you'll get the idea of what I'm trying to say. So here's the stud replacement now complete, and it's seated, and generally when I do these things I leave them for 24 hours to make sure they're properly seated and right to go. If you have a look, these are full depth plus just a tiny little bit sticking out the back there, which you can sort of see, and the thread is full depth through the block. And we did some calculations. Not me, I'm not good enough for that, but I have an absolute expert machinist, and we thought about this for a long time before we did it, and came up with these. Now the tap that we use is only used for that job. We don't use it on anything else. It lives in the kit that all this stuff comes out of. Same with the drill. It was the best I could buy for the money. There was lots of cheaper ones. He told me a brand to buy and I bought it, and it's worked perfectly now. I bought 24 of these I've found written on a thing in there, and after that one I've got 4 left. So I've tried them fairly extensively. This is my installing tool, which is really quite simple. It's just a little nut that I turn down, trying to get it to focus, to be the same size roughly as the insert. You just screw that down on the insert and then lock it on with a nut. And because when these were made, they were made to be as snug a fit as is practical given the amount of heat and shrink and all the rest of the stuff that I know. You know, it's all steely-eyed jungle train night fighter stuff for me. I just take it to someone who knows what they do, and we work out what we think's the best thing, and then they produce it for me. That's Jeff from Solo. He does an amazing job, and that now has a surface area considerably more than the original stud, and the stud is screwed into steel. So if anybody manages to pull that out, they deserve what they get as far as I'm concerned. But there you go. Tomorrow I'll put the, not tomorrow, Sunday I'm going to go and see my parents tomorrow. But after, on Monday I'll screw the studs in and continue on with what I started to do in the first place. Ride safely, stay well. I hope you got something out of this video. Have a great weekend.